Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Come on, man. What's wrong with you? 5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. Have you lost the last 3 brain cells, or do you just have cabbage for brains?
It's a house!
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
What's going on, freaks? Hey, maybe the dogs are outside. Who knows? Alright. I'm trying to do another show. My nose is pretty plugged up. I think, I don't know. I have less of a fever, I guess. I don't know. When I say I'm a little bit better, I don't know. Kind of comes and goes, I guess. Well, I've been working on, still working on this thing. It's pretty crazy. I think I'm getting close to done now. So look at this latest part here, watch. So that's when he's carving, right? And he sits down. I just have Dylan, like, still listening. Doing something in there. And while he's in the bathroom, Xana starts getting back up again. You can hear it. So then he comes back in. Alright, so that's sort of where I'm at right now. I mean, it's pretty creepy that, you know, then that I have him leaving at the end, but I gotta probably do that last shot there again. Yeah, a delay would suck. Anyways, did you guys see what I just put on the screen? My God, you guys. It's just like I always say, talking to a brick wall. Yeah. Yeah, the trial, I hope it might be in August, but I could see him pushing it back to, like, you know, December or something. 3 months or something. I don't know. Yeah, so he's like in the bathroom cleaning up like they said maybe he was doing. See, I could see him trying to rinse the blood off of his hands. Like if he's got those surgical gloves, you know, you rinse the blood off your hands, and then when you go to your car, you don't have blood all over your hands when you're trying to grab something. You're just kind of rinsing it off.
Thanks, Ray. Ocean wave emoji. Ocean wave.
Thanks, Sally Cake. Okay, well, you gotta get a different computer Sandy, you're struggling. It's pretty clear. Pretty clear right there. Now that one's kind of dark, but you know. I can make it brighter a little bit, something like that. It's a different color though. I don't know. I just want it the way it was. It's dark. I don't know. I can see him doing it as a remedy for the leak of prosecutorial information. You know, I can easily see it. I can see him not doing it too, but to say, you can't see him doing it is a little disingenuous, you know. Let's see, I think, it's like 50-50, you know. So if he doesn't do it, it won't shock me. If he does it, it won't shock me. It's one of those things. Yeah, I don't know. Jeez. So you got I was going to go over that. There's this one PDF file from a long time ago that has so much interesting stuff in it. I thought we could go back over that one. The one that had the GPS coordinates for the DoorDash. I even had ChatGPT analyzing it. And they said it's a zero, they thought it was a zero. And I said, well, it's not a zero, the one number, because I know it isn't. And then I said, is it an 8 or 9? It said, well, it's an 8, because it went and explained why it's an 8 as opposed to a 9. And the 8 would be the DoorDash in the back of the house, and the 9 is in the front. It's that close. I mean, it's literally, what are the odds of that, by the way? No, it's not Ethan Tumbleweed. That's a girl on the floor. That's Xana. Have you not been here following along as I've been editing it? Thanks, Timothy Moore. So the new part is basically like from right here. I'm not sure what's up with her hair on that one, but whatever. And then he sits down on that little ottoman. And then back to Dylan in the room, kind of listening to stuff. And he goes to the bathroom now to clean stuff up. That's what they said, that it looked like he'd done something like that. And there he is in the bathroom. He's doing something like washing his hands, whatever you want to think he's doing. And then Xana starts trying to get up. And this is when she's making sounds, and he comes out and says, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." Right there, boom. And then he attacks again, and then she goes down. That's the thud sound. And then he exits. And when he exits, it's kind of like that. Goes out. But it'll be, close to probably 3 minutes and 25 seconds, which is, that's within the 4 minutes that law enforcement, 2 to 4 minutes, they said. But hey guys, we're doing another show, so if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, I know I'm just kind of struggling doing these shows, but we're getting close to the end of the month, so I have to do them regardless if I don't feel good. All right, so we got to get the ball rolling. Yesterday was our second lowest night of the month. 2 nights before that was the lowest night of the month. So I'm not really sure, what I'm doing incorrectly to get the support from you guys watching, but it is what it is. And the reason we do this is because at the end of the month, the extra money that the channel brings in, I donate thousands of dollars to true crime related charities, and a DNA fund and a scholarship fund that we have, etc. Okay, whatever you thought, Julia, but I'm doing it the way I want to do it, okay? All right, so you can think whatever you want. I'm not changing my animation right now. I think it would be idiotic for him to sit down in a chair and start cleaning up and exposing his DNA to various items in the floor, in there. I was just thinking in the bathroom, he maybe rinsed blood off of his hands because he doesn't want to bring blood into his vehicle when he's leaving the house, okay? That's the whole key to that. He's not going to want to bring blood into his vehicle or anything like that, so the less on his hands, etc., the better. Sitting in the house and doing stuff would be the dumbest thing in the history of the world. Although he did do a lot of dumb things. I'm sure they did tumbleweed. I'm sure they did. If you thought of it, they thought of it. Okay. Well, thanks, Lawrence on Venmo there. I don't know what your note says or anything, but Okay, I know, but it's really deflating when you've been. I told you what I thought about it. I think it'd be absolutely idiotic for him to sit in a chair to change
For all you do.
and clean up.
Today is National Missing
Okay.
Child's Day. Thank you for always donating so much to Reck and others great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we've donated over 20, probably like 24,000 or so by now to NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Now, nobody made fun of you. I just totally disagree with it, Julia. I didn't see anybody making jokes or cracking jokes or anything like that. So, you can go complain somewhere else. Let's see. All right. I'll show you what I did on the Chat GPT thing. Where was it? That was... Yeah, right here. Thanks, Amber Maiden. Oh, that was the Ted Bundy backward. Okay. I didn't have time to sit around and look at it. So I put in the geocoordinates from the document. And then eventually down below... Yeah, they were saying something, and I said, totally fair. And then I said, of the 2 letters, is it more likely an 8 or a 9? And they started putting crap like this in here. I don't know where they got that 8. There's no 8 that looks that good on that. But they did say... Great, now we're locked on the real question. Is the digit more likely an 8 or a 9? And what I'm referring to is the well, don't worry about it, Julia. I'm just trying to tell you, like, I'll tell you what one of the most frustrating things to do in the world is when you spend, like, literally 8 hours a day for days and days and days and days, and even on the show, and then somebody comes in and wants something different than what you put in there. Or, like, let's say you were making a meal at home for guests that come over, and they start saying, hey, can you do this and that? And they're just really, sort of, that's what it feels like. It doesn't feel good. All right, so this right here is the numbers. I don't know if you can see it. But, like, they thought, ChatGPT thought that was a 0, and then also thought it was 0039. And then I said, well, if you look at the width of the 8 over here, see how it's narrower? That 8? And then, so that, you can't see the slash on it. But it looks like, like that's a 0, maybe, Yeah, I mean, I think that's a 0, and then that's a 3, and that could be another 3, or it could be a 9, don't know. It's a weird, what just sucks is like how perfect and easy this one is to read. But this one here, the one that's really important, it's more blurry. Harder to make out. What are the odds of that? Yeah, I mean, people just don't have to get really offended if I go, yeah, I think that's not going to make sense. I don't have time for coddling and, what do you call it? Like, I don't know. Just trigger warnings, trigger bunnies, etc. Just can't do it. All right, so here it is. So this, I know that this is a 6. See that number right there? That number is a 6, 100%.
Great content.
And I know that because every other coordinate, these are the geo coordinates of the DoorDash delivery of Jack in the Box to Xanakernodal, right? And the decimals are, it's 46 degrees out there, 0.72, and a minus 117, those are all, that's correct. And that's obviously a 7, that's obviously a 2, and that's obviously a 1, and that's obviously, then we don't know what that is. And then that looks like, very likely a 0, and then a 3, and then maybe a 9 or a 3, 3. So when you go to, let's see, jeez. And yes, Julie, everything's okay. I don't maintain a grudge, unlike the people watching the show. If there's any arguments or anything, oh, I hate the show forever. And I just, man, grow up, for God's sakes. Unbelievable. All right, right here. So that's the coordinates. See that? 46.721. And then if you put like I'm just going to delete this. Both of these. Just so it's not confusing anymore. Yeah, so look at if it's 46.7218. Look how it's right in the back of the house. It's crazy. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at, well, let me get rid of this stuff. All right, and then use a different map. That one. See, look where that is. That's like right in the back of the house near the patio, off to the right a little bit. It's not right at the door. So now imagine if you switch that over to, make that that 8 a 9 right there. So watch what this does. And then look at it, puts it sort of in the front portion of the house. See, just that little number is what the whole, like it would have been great if the 9 put us over here, but it doesn't. The farther you get away from the decimal, the more minute the change is. So, like we're looking at it right there, and I think if we change the 3 at the end, which is a possibility, it didn't really do much at all. Ah, jeez. Thanks, Tumbleweed. All right. Jeez. Yeah. And then at the so what it says down at the bottom here, I don't know where it got this thing. It doesn't. Nothing look like that. But it said 2 equal size loops. Okay, comparison known 8 versus the suspect digit versus 9. Characteristic of typical 8: 2 equal size loops, top and bottom, closed loops, uniform vertical structure, visually balanced like a snowman. Characteristics of a typical 9: upper loop only. And then it says the bottom is a descending stroke tail leg, visually more top heavy and symmetrical, and trail drops down to the right. In your image, the suspect digit appears to have both a top and bottom curve, not just a top loop. No visible tail or drop stroke like a 9 would have. The bottom appears rounded, not tapered like a 9. Width matches the 8 from the longitude. Very telling. Final verdict. The digit is much more likely an 8 than a 9. The shape, width, and symmetry all match that. Isn't that cool? That's exactly how I was looking at it. So if you look at the image again, it's right here. So that image right there is the suspect. We were trying to figure out what that is. A 9 doesn't look like that. So it was saying the same thing. It has a top and a bottom. And it's more narrow like that 8 is. And this loop here is just like that. So it's a 0. So 7, 2, 1, and then 8, 0, 3. And it came up with 3, 9. So... no. So notice how when it chose a 9, it goes down like that, and there's no other elements. So it's pretty cool that it too said that. So if you go by what even ChatGPT is noticing, then the GPS coordinates of the DoorDash driver are right back here on the patio. And that's, I think it's interesting. So we talked about this before, but I was just revisiting it using ChatGPT to see what they would say. Huh. I think that could be a 9. I can't. What do you mean a 9? What are you talking about? Yeah, it's not even. There's no chance in hell that's a 9. This number right there, a 9? Or are you talking about the last digit? Yeah, like those look the same, right? Like it could be 3, 3 or 3, 9, but this number here is the one we're talking about. The only number that matters on here that we can't see, obviously that's a 7, obviously that's a 2, obviously that's a 1. It's this digit right there. Does that look like a 9 to anybody? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, does that look like a 9 to anybody out there? And the answer is no. It doesn't even, the whole shape of it's different. And because of that, I think it's very likely that, the ChatGPT thought it was 72100 originally. So let me show you why that can't be a 0. Watch. So I put a 0 in there. Let's see. 8, and then put a 0 there instead. And look where it goes. It goes way over here, so that's not, so it goes like 0, 1. It's going to look just like this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or, I can't really see the, let me put the pin back on. Yeah, so it's too far down. Yeah, so whatever that same distance was when we made it 8 to 9, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's a little bit smaller, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, you got to land right there on 8. So I don't really know how to, manually make it look like that. So if it is an 8, everybody thinks it's an 8, then that actually puts it, right at the back of the house. It's crazy. Jeez. Man, looks like Ted Bundy bought a coffee. All right, and then there's somebody that on Twitter was messaging me about, this image right here of Xana. I'd never seen this image before, to be honest with you. But they were thinking this was over at the pool. And, maybe Koberger saw him over at the pool. I think it's right here, the Grove at Moscow. But I'm not even sure this is at the Grove at Moscow, this image right here. And also, if you look at the trees, this image here was taken in the, it looks like probably late, or, like early fall, something like that. Like probably in October, September or October, but it was still kind of a warm day. That's what it looks like. And so, I guess it can't really be early spring because you wouldn't have this color here. That's when it's sort of dying off for the year. But up there, it does look like those are sort of newer blooms. So I don't know. I'm not really sure. But it's not during like June or July when he was there. All right. But when I look at the picture here, that picture, if you go into some of these 360-degree shots that are down here, and you look at some of these buildings, I see a similarity, because of that triangle shape, but nothing else looks the same. Sure, there's bricks, there's things like that, and maybe we're just looking at a different side of the building or whatever, but like maybe the back looks different, but these things don't match up with that, like it just doesn't match. Even though I see why somebody might think that. And then not only that, this little shape here, where it kind of curves and then goes like that, I didn't find anything like that. I spent quite a while trying to actually find that. But hey, you guys, I need your guys' support on the channel tonight. All right, we're having one of those lulls again. It's very difficult for me to get the nights like this. I'm just not feeling that great. I can't make everybody like yay, and help support the channel. I need you to just realize what we're doing each month here on a nightly basis and see if you can help support the channel. That'd be great. We've already given out this year, out of the income from the channel, let's see, $16,030 and $244,979 since January of 2020, which is $244,979 more than the clown and the guy from the English guy have given in their entire. I mean, they've never given a nickel, so that's just the truth. All right, we've already donated a ton of money, so I need you guys' support on the channel. Thank you. Yeah. So I don't know if there's like a different look on the back side of some of these, but I couldn't find that shape. There's these little things like this, but none of them had the bushes that were in her picture. They're different. They're totally different, but I don't think it's the same apartment complex, to be honest with you. I just don't. When people say, to be honest with you, that means they lie, and then now they're just telling the truth. Okay, well, you're insane, Katrina. All right, I don't have any respect for your opinion. Okay. You know, when somebody comes in and says, hey, yeah, I don't think that Koberger did it, I don't respect your opinion, all right? Because you, along with every other pro-burger nut job out there, have no information that points away from Brian Koberger. What about the other DNA? Well, who cares? His DNA was on the knife sheath. So maybe there is somebody else if you want to believe that. But Koberger was there. Nothing points away from Koberger being there. Do you get it? That's not very far. I mean, I would imagine that Xana had been there. I mean, it's like, I don't even think it's a mile to get there. It's right there. But did anybody hear what I said when I was saying, hey, everybody, if you could please help support the channel, that would be awesome. And it just went dead as a doornail. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's not far at all. 0.6 miles. I mean, that's just as a crow flies. Probably driving it'd be a mile or so, because you have to. It's not. There's no direct line there. All right. My heart goes out to the 4, but I don't think Brian Koberger did it. Why would he? Well, I don't know. Why do any of these psychos do it? I just went over one last night. This guy, he was on... He uses... I don't know. What is that? She was an escort, this lady. But, you know, she was a college student, but she just, like, you know, make extra money or whatever. And this guy arranged to pick her up, and he took her, he, like, turned off, you know, grabbed her, turned off her phone, killed her, set her on fire, then the next day loaded her up in a car, and, you know, and put her into a canyon somewhere. I mean, why did that guy do it? What's his motive? He didn't even know that. I mean, he only knew her through communications on the app, like to meet up. That's it. Hey, thanks Elizabeth Brown for gifting a membership. Ah, very cool, very cool. But anyways, I don't think that image that people... I totally could see it. I sort of assumed it was. But it's not. I don't see the same structures, etc. And I'm not even sure this is Moscow, to be honest with you. Who knows where this is? What? Man, the Knicks, that was... I don't know if you guys are watching this NBA playoffs, but... Now, Indiana won the first 2 games in New York, right? And then the Knicks go to Indiana, and they're down by 20 points with, you know, in the second quarter, and now they're up by 4 with 16 seconds to go. That's pretty tough to do that. That's amazing. Pretty crazy. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys are happy to be freaks. I'm just trying to figure out how we can get to... Last night was a struggle, and... Now, what does what mean, Geraldine? What, like what with a exclamation points? There's no question, there's nothing, it's just, what? Are you talking to your kid or like a dog that was trying to get your attention, or what were you doing? Oh man, not sure I should have done a show tonight. I was feeling better, but you know, I don't know, these shows make me stressed out. Let's see, is it this one? No. that the one? Yeah. Yeah, screw the Pacers, man. They got too lucky too many times with their stupid, just total garbage luck shots, you know. One bounces up, almost hits the ceiling and falls in. What a joke. I mean, I'm not even a Knicks fan or anything. I just can't stand when, you know, you play all season and it comes down to some luck ass shot bouncing around. They did that in Portland this year too. Like, we just totally dominated the game, and then Halliburton hits a three-pointer at the buzzer to win by 1. It's just stupid. Yeah, like, I think this document, this whole PDF file is filled with a lot of kind of interesting things. This is the one that has Koberger's document on how to not contaminate a crime scene. And people go, how would he do that, Gray? How would Koberger not contaminate the scene? Well, he knows exactly how not to. He actually learned how to not to. Yeah, the Pistons that was a close series, that one. I don't know if when you say should have or whatever. I mean, it was just really close. I think the Nuggets should have lost the series before. 2, like, miraculous shots by one guy who isn't even their best player. Why would I go to the trial if it's being streamed? Yeah, we've gone over that. I don't think I would go if it was streamed. I mean, I guess I could do something where I go there and I stream from there. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Go Beach. No idea. Let's see. But you guys, is there any chance that you guys could help support the channel tonight? I'm just not sure if I'm going to keep going. It just seems dead as a doornail right out of the gate. So, no, I don't even know what you're referring to. Go Beaches. You can send me a link if you feel like it. Yeah, so this actually shows how many drinks Madison and Kaylee had. So 9 well vodkas, and I mean, that's a lot for somebody. I mean, who knows who drank the most, but I mean, that's a lot. Yeah, it's cheap too, only $3 a drink. See. Yep, thanks, Alley Cake. Another one of these. I don't know. Forget it. I'm just gonna keep working on this. If you guys want to help support the channel, great. If you don't, whatever. If you want to talk about something, throw it in a super chat. We'll discuss it. Other than that, I'm just gonna spend my time working on this. Unless I get sent that article, I'll take a look at it. $248. $220. That's nothing. 212 to 250. Okay, well, you just have to send it to me, Go Beaches. I'm not going to go spend 10 minutes looking for it. You know what I mean? Doesn't make any sense. Well, I have Xana fighting the hardest. Well, yeah, that's pretty sweet that the Knicks came back and won that game. I wonder what Charles Barkley's going to say now. He basically said, oh, it's pretty crazy. Now, we don't know how much Ethan drank, but Madison was really drunk. Thanks, Judy, for the coffee. I'm still waiting for the email that has the article. It's always great when you get interrupted and they don't send you the link. Good stuff. Here, let's see if we can. Here, let me stop this. Yeah. Well, that's why. Yeah, I don't see anything. That was pretty amazing, Timothy. That was cool because they were just totally written off.
An epic win by the Knicks. Hope everyone has a good day.
That was good.
AOK emoji.
Ah, jeez. Don't ever mention that channel again in here, Go Beaches. My God, why would you do that? What a joke. Jesus. Thank you, Timothy Cecil. So that's what I'm thinking, that she got back up and was trying to, like, what happened, what is going, you know, she's just really mortally wounded, but she's trying to figure out what's happening. She's in shock. And that's when Koberger hears her from the bathroom and then comes out. That's what I think. Okay. Yeah, that, I didn't think it was that apartment complex. I don't know why people would even care if it wasn't the pool. It's like, you know. Yeah, no, I don't feel good. Yeah, I don't see anything from CNN that says anything about anything. And by the way, the channel that you mentioned up there, he was thinking there was something just not right either early, but now he sees the writing on the wall. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anything like that. Nothing worse than somebody telling you, hey, great, and then it's like there's nothing available to look at. God, I'm just, everything's bad. Stomach. That squeaky chair. I'm just not. Yeah, don't worry about it. If we can't read about it, we don't want to hear about it. Go Beaches. So. And what difference does that make? That sounds like all stuff that was in the original. Let's see. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that, Columbo. Yep. Makes it even worse when the channel just absolutely does terribly when you don't feel good. It's like, do I have to be a cheerleader every second of every day? You know, very, very frustrating. Thank you, Pacific Cove. I noticed nobody's even chatting. So I think I'm just going to call it a night and go do something else. you guys want to bring up topics to talk about, we can do that. But other than that, I'm just not feeling good. Jeez, Daphne, why don't you just let somebody have some time to not think about it, you know? Good Lord. Way to bring it back up, you know? That's not why Mustang Sally. We already knew that, Daphne, a long time ago. Right, but I mean, he was trying to, like, not have to think about it, you know? I just really want to get done with the animation, to be honest with you. That's right, truly like Diva, that's right, but amazingly, people don't seem to get it, you know?
Support the Chanel. Anything helps.
Okay, well, you don't need to just think it to yourself then instead of trying to. Hey, thanks, Curly Lock Diva. All right. Got Patricia Aria, Connie E, DNA Paranormal, whatever the hell that means. Mark and MS Magnolia, DNA Paranormal. Jesus, what? Those things couldn't be anywhere as far apart. DNA is something that's real, and that paranormal shit in the true crime world is complete garbage. Well, that's what he said. That's what he was working on that a while ago. So whether right now he says, "Oh, it's okay, Daphne," you know, it's like I don't try not to like bring it up all the time. Let's see. So he'll say something different to you, but let's see. Hey, thanks, Leroy. 5th on a live stream. All right. See, I don't have much more to do. I have 2 more shots, I think. One where he comes up behind and he sort of, it'll be more blurry. Okay. I'll try. Yeah, that's from May 5th. The one that says documents detail the search of Brian Koberger's home, that one? Or no, that's 2023. Judge in Idaho student killing case demands records held. Which one? Can you just look it up, find it, and send me the link, please? Thank you. What do you mean? That's from 2023. Why would... It's not new information. Yeah, well, if he doesn't mind you asking, that's fine, but, you know, it was kind of bothering him before. see. Is Gray going in and out, or is it? I'm just not talking. I don't have anything to say because nobody's. It's just like. I mean, I don't know. Nobody's. A minute ago, there wasn't any chats going on for like 5 minutes, and that's when you realize that. You know, that's where you got to be this entertainer every second of every show, or. Yeah, I got the rug, the bed, and the ottoman. Is that there? Did he ever come close to killing his own family? I don't know if he could have, but they're probably not aware. But they always thought he was crazy. I bet you the sister, the fact that the sister was suspicious of him means that there had been other things that she'd noticed before. I mean, you know, like my brother, if he drove a white Elantra, and I wouldn't, you know, even if it was the same area, it would never even cross my mind. You know, that's not what he would do. So, you know, must be something the sister noticed. Right, but you told me that it was a new article. Jeez, man. It's weird how I feel worse in the evenings. I'm not sure what the deal is. It's just, I don't know if it's the... Yeah, it's crazy. Explain that this is not going to work in the chat. Yeah, I mean, I can read it in a minute to see what they're talking about. Okay, I'm just trying to respond up there. I don't think that he's ever tried to kill his family, but I wonder if there were things that he did that the family noticed, and they were a little bit freaked out by him. I don't think anybody in his family, other than maybe the dad, wants him to be found not guilty, because then that means another psycho is out in the world. It's sort of like you know, Dexter's dad probably wouldn't, you know, he had to be taught the code, I guess. But yeah. All right, we'll take a look at it. Let's just see why this incredibly old. I mean, this is from 5 months after he was arrested. Chemical tests for blood were found on over 60 reddish-brown stains at Brian Koberger's apartment. Yeah, we knew that. In Pullman, Washington on December 30th, hours after he was arrested in northeastern Pennsylvania. And we just went over what was found in there the other day. Those samples from the apartment rendered by Koberger charged in the November killings of 4 University of Idaho students were collected for further testing at the Idaho State Crime Lab. Jeez. Another dark red spot on the kitchen counter near the sink was unable to be tested at the scene, but was collected for further analysis. That's at his apartment. The vast majority were negative for possibility of being blood. Documents also show the Washington State University Police Department was advised at 10:38 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on December 29th that Koberger had been arrested at his parents' Pennsylvania home, and a law enforcement team from Idaho was on its way to sit at Koberger's apartment near WSU at his office on the WSU campus until search warrants of those locations were served by university police. At approximately 7:15 a.m. the next day, Koberger's apartment was searched by law enforcement. Documents say they cleared each room of the residence and noticed the apartment was sparsely furnished and fairly empty of belongings. including a shower curtain in the bathroom. Huh. See, that's weird because he must have taken that after. Because it looks like there's one on the curtain when he took that picture at 10:31 in the morning. Yeah, I'm getting really tired of you trying to direct my show, Go Beaches. You've done this 2 days in a row now. It's getting kind of old. Just let me do it the way I want to do it. I don't want to just jump into a point. Video documentation of the apartment was also conducted. Koberger 28 is charged with first-degree murder, blah, blah, blah. Koberger had a storage closet at the apartment complex assigned to him. They found the door to the closet was ajar and appeared to be empty. I wonder, he probably has so much crap in that, in his vehicle. Well, I guess we don't need to go over it then, Go Beaches. You've just explained it in the chat, exactly all the different elements, so we don't need to go over it now, right? Let's see. Koberger had a storage closet at the apartment complex assigned to him. Law enforcement waited for a search warrant to be amended to include the storage unit before they searched it for possible trace evidence and possible DNA evidence. Authorities then went to Koberger's office on the WSU campus, where he had just completed his first semester as a PhD student in the school's criminal justice program. While executing the search warrant, they found Koberger's desk was empty. Nothing was seized from the office, reads the police report. On January 10, 2023, Koberger's defense team showed WSU law enforcement a piece of paper signed by Koberger granting his attorneys permission to enter his apartment to remove the WSU office keys that had been sitting on the TV stand. Defense attorneys also found and took a receipt from a cupboard in the bathroom, as well as paperwork items from the living room. Well, they must have had to turn this all over to the prosecutor, so what difference would it make? I hope I feel better too. I'm not really in a good mood or anything. January 19th, Koberger's defense team again asked to go to his apartment with a signed letter by Koberger asking them to gather some of his belongings. The defense removed a flat-screen TV, computer monitor, a small box of miscellaneous papers and receipts, a laundry basket that was full of books, and a medium-sized box whose contents police couldn't see. Now they weren't able to look into it. Koberger has yet to enter a plea. Man, I wonder what the hell was in that box. Jeez, that could have had like some more what do you call it? Souvenirs, like the sock that had the 2 different IDs of women. You guys were currently at less than 50% of the nightly goal, so if anybody's out there, that'd be great. The defense moved a, let's see, Koberger. I'm not sure why, like that box seems really interesting, doesn't it? What happened, Zozo? What was funny? Must have been something I said 10 minutes ago. Oh, God. Let's see. Yeah, we're not even close. I don't know. Not really sure what we were supposed to get out of that. My God. How would somebody turn that into some really new breaking? It's just ridiculous. Alright, let's see. Go out here. What the hell was that? No idea what that just did. Thank you, Curly Lock Diva. Yeah, it's a little off. Actually, maybe I'll just refilm that side, the other side now. That might be kind of cool if I start it there. Oops. Oh yeah, look at that. Thanks, Tamran. Oh, and Curly Diver up there. Allie Kit. Thank you.
Ocean wave emoji. Ocean wave emoji. Ocean wave emoji. Wave time. Join in just $5.
You guys can do it. Alright, let's see what happens. Guess we only have mods here. Well, Timothy Cecil was trying to get the wave going. Will people join Timothy Cecil's wave? Who knows? Right. They're all mods. I don't know if anybody else is even here. There isn't really that many. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like, you know, maybe 6 sitting here. Oh, man. What's going on? Valgal? Guess what? Watch, after all this time, I'll put this out there and it gets like 8,000 views. That's when I'll just quit YouTube at that point. I can't do it. Well, thanks for trying, Timothy. Let's see. We're always thanking folks for donating and greeting them. Yeah, I think she's just kind of always, you know, the whole time she's, you know, probably standing up, listening, thinking, you know, like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, but why should it have to wait? I mean, You got these other YouTubers that put out crap videos on the case and get 100,000 views. So why would it matter? You know, my thing is, why can't, you know, I don't know, man. I just don't get it. You know, people don't even cover it. They just start covering it again. Oh, you get like 100,000, you know. It's wild. I don't think so. But you guys, we're still only at like 50% of the goal tonight. So if you have the ability to help support the channel, that'd be great. I don't have any other source of try to make income on these live streams. You know, I was going to go over that one PDF file again, but it just didn't seem like anybody was too jazzed up. So now I'm back to working on the animation again. I've been working on this the entire day, like every second since 10 in the morning, you know. Because as you can see, each frame there's 30 frames a second, and each frame takes, you know, like you just saw, there's one right there, right? Yeah, cool. I think I'm actually going to animate the 911 call too. I think that'll be interesting. You know, I think it'd be sort of easy. Like I could just have people standing around. You know, the phone sort of being. I don't know. It's hard to do that part. Like, how do you pass the phone to somebody? And they go up the stairs. And I think one thing I'm going to add to the end of this is probably Dylan running across to go down to Bethany's room, just to see how it would look, you know. Thank you, J Love. Yeah, well, I think it would also help a lot if you guys, when you're watching it, would go out and share the video instead of just thinking somebody else will share it. Like if every single one of you went out and shared it somewhere. And it's amazing how people don't hit the like button, too. They go, oh, I love the video, I didn't hit the like button. I don't know what I'm going to add, Millennial. I was thinking of doing audio. Like I can actually get Xana's voice and Koberger's voice. You know, it'd be cool to do like an AI version, you know, like take their voice and make it a voice and put words to it, but then I don't know. I was thinking about that. No, I'm not going to add any of that stuff. I already did that whole thing. Millennial. I mean, I could have a black screen and text messages going on, and then Dylan runs. But I'm not doing, this isn't to time. I'm not timing this. There's no time clock. Yeah. Nothing really to go over. I just went over the GPS coordinates again. I was consulted with ChatGPT, and they think it's 8 too. If it's not a 0, it's an 8. Can't be a 6 either. So. Trying to just read anything interesting. Haven't seen any comments. We've only got 8 new channel members gifted tonight too. Very huge drop off from, you know, even last night. That wasn't a great night either. But. That's okay, Timothy. Don't worry. Nobody wants to. That's cool. I don't know what to say. Had to get my boys to bed. Now I'm able to chat. Okay. Yep, send in super chats and ask questions, and we'll discuss them. I've already gone over that 1,000 times. Go Beaches. Guess that just shows you don't really watch the channel. I've made 2 videos on that. Yep. I'm sure the DoorDash guy will be testifying. I'm just here doing a show. All I got in me is to do the 3D animation. Yeah, we know. We know, Geo Beaches. Why do you always tell us stuff we've known 1,000 times? It's just amazing. You act like we're just sort of these newbie YouTube channel that doesn't know.
That escaped in Louisiana.
I think there's still 5 missing. And I don't have any tolerance for this guy tonight. Yeah, we know that the surveillance at 1112 picks up everybody coming and
Happy
going.
Memorial Day, great. Shirley.
Yeah, you too. That's tomorrow, right? It'll be sad if it's delayed again. I don't see any reason for the dateline. I do. It's something that shouldn't have happened. And that gives the judge to remedy it. He might extend it out a couple months. I could see him doing that. I would rather have him do that than sacrifice any evidence. Well, we're going to throw the DNA out. Jesus. Okay, well. $50 years to look everything over. Yeah, I think it's stupid. Ann Taylor is just a lazy person who knows their client's guilty and doesn't put in the effort to look and watch everything because there's no point. She knows it won't show something that's going to help. Okay, she knows that already. So she's just sitting there and she's doing absolutely nothing. Any one of us would go watch and everything. We'd go look at it and be like, oh my God, look at this, look at this, look. But everything she looks at makes him look guilty, so she quit watching it. Why would it be a disaster if they delayed it? It just means it would be delayed. It'd suck, though, you know? Thanks, Sheryl's Freedom Stitcher. Right. I think it's like, I don't know. I would say there's like a 40% chance that he'll delay it and 60% not. Because I think the FBI is the one who leaked it, not the prosecutors, but it still means that it was leaked. I don't know why you need extra time to handle the leak. All it comes down to is taking a longer time to pick a jury. You know, that's really all you're doing. You're just trying to find somebody that didn't watch it. Thanks, Alec. I hope I feel better. I thought I was going to be feeling better today, but nope. Nah, I don't know. I would say, Steph, she's more like a student that has no idea what she's talking about and raising her hands because she doesn't know, you know, like, oh, I mean, why wouldn't you take the time to watch all this surveillance footage? The things that actually matter in the case are the DNA, the surveillance footage of the Elantra, and then everything else just kind of is secondary to that. And she hasn't even watched it. Well, I just don't have time. No, you do. You do have time. Yeah, I don't know. I guess what it is when during the day you're not talking. And then once you start talking, it starts irritating your lungs a little bit. I don't think... Well, he is a conspiracy theorist. Now, Cyray is, in my opinion, is not credible. Just based on that one case. And that's all you got to listen to, is a case that he tried to sell that the vehicle, based on the cell phone pings, was stalking somebody. And then the vehicle's own GPS system showed it was nowhere near there. Which is way more accurate. So he's just, full of crap. But hey guys, if you guys can help support the channel, that'd be awesome. We're still, we're about like 75 short of a goal where I would donate 5 memberships myself. Alright? That's how slow we are tonight. Right, why would she take another case? And then the judge should weigh that. Well, you said you don't have any time, but you just picked up another case. What's going on there? Yeah, I think even if he confessed, she still does it. Tries to get him off. How shitty. That must be a terrible thing to have to try to do. That's right. Could be coffees, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, they remember how they made it seem sort of noble when Koberger, remained silent, and then the judge said, "Put not guilty," and they were like, "Yeah, that can help out later, because that way it doesn't sound like he was saying that he, depending on what the verdict is." Who cares, God? How does it help anybody? Well, he was really nice when he, I know he killed 4 people with a knife, but that snuck into their house, etc. But, at least he didn't say that he did it, so. Hey, thanks so much. I'll eat cake. As in, I'll eat cake. Apparently that's where that came from. I wish I could eat cake and taste it, because I can't taste anything right now. Why? Whew. Let's see, that would be 7. 8, 9, 10 more. Yeah, that makes sense. 10 more coffees or etc. That would work. And by the way, if you haven't seen it so far, the update, this is what it looks like from, we'll just do the update from here. Like there, so there's Xana running across, and then Koberger's following. Comes around the corner. And Dylan had heard somebody say, "Hey, somebody's here." No, that was a different part. What time did she look out? So somebody said there's somebody here, and then she looked out again when she heard somebody whimpering. Yeah, so like crying. So that's probably, Xana running, going, "Oh God, what's going on?" And then he chases her. So that's why she's looking through the door. And then she's just like, "God, what's going on?" And then that's him stabbing Ethan. Now he's carving his legs here. Probably keep him from moving. Then he sits down for a second. And she's just in here kind of like petrified about what the hell's going on out there. Then he gets up, goes to the bathroom. And then she's still in there, in her room, Dylan. And then he's over here like washing his hands, whatever, doing something. And then she starts getting up, like if she's still alive, and he hears it. He's like, "Oh shit!" And he goes, "That's okay. I'm going to help you." And then he kills her a second time in his mind. So there you go. That's what do you guys think of that so far? Hey, thanks, Paulette. So what I'm working on right now is he's going to have to stab her kind of from behind, and then she falls forward one last time. And then he's going to turn around, and then he's going to leave. So that's all I have left. Thanks, Steph C. I'm not just going to put out a 3-minute video, though. Like, I have to explain it. Then I'll talk through it. Then I'll play the full thing. But I like to, like, build it up, have the, the 4 passes of the car coming around. Just keep sneezing. Yeah. Thanks, Lanky Tor. Alright, need 9 more channel memberships. Shit. I already have Mucinex. I'm taking it. I take it all the time. Nope, not allergies. I got sick. My wife was sick. Then transferred it over to me. Oh, thanks, Jason. I know what I can do. Like have a version that's just like I'll discuss a version, and then a second version where there's words on the screen. I kind of talk about how it matches up with the information that's out there, and then a third one where it just plays by itself. And then one of these days I'll do one where I put audio to it. What does that mean, Bree? See, Bree is as an attention seeker. See right there? I'm here too, just scared to chat or comment. And now I'm commenting, and she'll say, see? That's exactly what passive-aggressive people do. That right there. You see what I'm saying? See, right now, I'll say, yeah, Bree, you're just trying to draw attention to yourself. See, that's why I don't comment. Yeah, well, yeah, that's exactly what passive-aggressive people do. They start the thing and then pretend that you're the one. What are your thoughts on him possibly having more than one weapon? I don't know. He could have. I guess we'll see at trial. All right, guys, we need 9 more channel memberships. If you guys like the work that I do on this channel, I would appreciate your support. There is no ad revenue on these live streams. Even if you see ads, it's like $8 for the whole show. It's ludicrous. So you guys are the I rely on you guys for the support on a nightly basis. So how do we make it happen? The girls didn't mention locking their bedroom doors. Dylan said she locked her door that final time. Yeah, it should be easy, Timothy, but the other YouTubers don't do what we do, so they just do the show and they don't really give a damn. I mean, our show actually goes out and we've given $244,000 out, and we make a difference. The only way that happens is if we have the extra funds to do that. Yeah, well, apparently not, Timothy. Apparently not. What was the stuff that your mind imagined? Huh? What are you guys talking about? I don't know. I don't think so. See, that's what I hate right here, is I'm already making my video, all right? And now you got somebody going, ooh, 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 and just throwing out all these different things, and I don't think so. I have thought, was it, even while making this, was it Xana that went to the bathroom because Dylan said she heard somebody crying in a bathroom? But there's no way she could tell somebody was crying in a bathroom unless it was the upstairs bathroom, because you just wouldn't be able to tell. Okay? You couldn't. It was way around the corner, so there's no way Dylan could tell somebody was crying in the bathroom by Xana's room. Now, she could tell that somebody is crying in the upstairs bathroom because that's actually just above her head. So maybe she heard something like that at some point. Who knows, man? Yeah, anything could be anything. That could be it. Yeah, anything could be it. Right? They said he tried to clean up. Well, maybe that's in the bathroom. Yeah, she wasn't there. She wasn't standing in front of Xana's room. Go Beaches. Above her head is a bathroom. Above Dylan's head is a bathroom. In her room. Who cares, Jenna? We just went over it. Oh my God, you guys get so worked up. This is what makes true crime shit. When everybody goes, ooh, oh my God, they hear something, they get so worked up on it, and then that theory and rumor spreads around as if it's a factual piece of information. You know, it's wild. Sure, yeah. He just sat and waited around. I'm surprised he didn't go to the kitchen and get a cup of coffee while he was waiting for Xana, you know. And then he's just sitting there chilling out, drinking a cup of coffee, and he says to Xana, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." And so that doesn't make any sense, right? Hey, Go Beaches. I just explained it. I don't need you to keep explaining things over and over and over again. You're wrong, okay? She thought it was a bathroom upstairs. A bathroom. We just read that in the documents. I just told you that. The bathroom, the only bathroom she could tell somebody would be crying from would be the one upstairs, okay? That's it. I know, it's crazy. This person, he just probably found my channel and thinks we don't know the stuff. We know it better than any other channel by a mile. It isn't even close. We know all the stuff, okay? So go, if you need to, go over to there and explain to them these little simple things. We don't like it. It's condescending sounding because we already know the information. Yeah. We know where the bathroom is. We know where the bathroom is, Go Beaches. Yes, there's one in front of Xana's room. I just explained it to you 47 times. Except for Dylan wouldn't be able to hear somebody was crying in the bathroom. She'd know that somebody was crying in the bathroom upstairs above her head. Man, I'm going to time this person out. I can't do it. All right, maybe come back in 30 minutes, see if you have anything interesting to say. All right. All right. Very cool. Wow. They didn't have a coffee maker. Oh, well, there you go. That's you solved the case, man. The case of the invisible coffee maker. Jesus, that person, every second of every day, he or she, whatever the hell that person is, always thinks that we don't know something. And it's always like, yeah, we just talked about that. Hey, there you go. Look at there's Sheryl's Freedom Stitcher. We need 8 more. Very cool. Thank you so much. Alright, so the idea that somebody had above, and it's one that I'd thought of too about Xana. I didn't complete it with all the other stuff. That Xana was in the bathroom right outside of her room when Koberger's running by. But see, then it's weird that he'd go into. We know the order law enforcement believes is Xana, then Ethan. So he's not just sleep in the room where Ethan's away. He would absolutely be attacking Ethan first, then waiting for Xana. So it doesn't match the evidence that we've heard, okay? Who knows, Babs? Who knows? Does it really matter? I mean, it's just... it is irrelevant to the case. I'm sure maybe one of the girls looked outside, opened the door. And by the way, we don't really know if it was wide open. We just hear people say that it was wide open. But give me a really, like in the documents or somewhere out there where it says that the door was open. Give me that. That doesn't answer anything, Lil D, what you said. Well, because I don't know if it was. How do I answer a question when I guess it would just be if it was open, it was open. So what? What does it have to do with anything? Koberger left out the sliding glass door. He got into his car and drove away at a high rate of speed at 420 and 47 seconds. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that sounds like a question that shows up in the little groups out there that are always curious. There's something we just doesn't add up. Yeah, we need 8 memberships, and then I'll donate 5 myself. Okay? So the freaks as a whole shouldn't have a problem doing that. It should be pretty simple. Okay, now 7. That counts. J Love. Thank you. Is this still playing over here? Okay. Does anybody have any like normal questions? Almost getting up at this point. So it's getting up, and then oh yeah, that'll work. Hmm. Maybe he opened it so someone could... I don't know, I don't think so. I mean, Bethany, law enforcement believes he went out the sliding glass door. I'm sure he didn't make an extra trip downstairs and then back upstairs again to go out the sliding glass door passing Dylan. That doesn't make any sense. Jenna. 0. Sure is quiet when you don't have to answer redundant questions. Yeah. Sure is a struggle tonight, though, you guys. Sure is a struggle. Yeah, thanks, 70. I don't think he saw Dylan. And even if, well, the thing is if he saw Dylan, then he would have assumed that she would go look and notice the bodies and would have called police. So why did he spend then 2.5 minutes over at his vehicle before taking off? Yeah, so that, to me, it means he didn't see anybody. He thought he had a little extra time, but, you know, it started taking a while to do the blood spatter mitigation, so he drove away at a high rate of speed. Yeah, we need 7 more channel members. And actually, that's still like slightly short, but we'll call it good. Well, this one also shows you that there's plenty of time, because I think it's kind of real time, you know, it's like a real-time video. Have you ever heard anybody else talking about it anywhere? Like, oh, you see that video? Yeah, I don't know why it's such a struggle tonight to get that extra, those other 7 memberships. Should be pretty simple. Trying to reach the goals. We got to keep on moving. We're starting to slow down, but right at the end of the month, and that's just a terrible sign for the rest of the month. I've been doing all I can, and yeah, and the lighting, we don't know what the lighting is, as I've said. I'm just using lighting so you can see what's going on. I'm redoing this one because it was a little dark. I don't know. Am I going to go to Idaho for the trial? Why would I go to the trial? Can anybody... I'm waiting for... I keep being asked this question. It's being streamed. Wouldn't it be better if I was streaming the trial with all of you guys and I could show, using my models and everything, be going through stuff, and instead just sitting in a courtroom afterwards saying, "Oh yeah, today was great." I mean, I think that would suck. Now maybe I'd go there and stream from there, but I don't know how good their streaming services are. I don't know. I keep getting asked that question though. But I don't know. Why do you think you watched the animation, Jenna? But thanks for the question. I've been asked it 3 times on this show. This show actually. I know I'm not. I'm probably not super chat worthy because my nose is plugged. I'm, just not feeling good. It's hard to come up with, content when I'm just sort of like, just trying to get this animation done, and so that's okay. I think it could get delayed. Yeah. I tested for the flu and COVID, that little test, and I didn't have it. I don't know what the hell I have, actually. Maybe it's just some shitty cold. Yeah. Yeah. No. I have something that kind of works sort of like that. I try to CPAP. I used to do this thing where I would quit breathing for some reason in the night. So I have this CPAP machine. It has sort of a vapor in there. So that works pretty good.
Coffee for a sick day.
Hey, thanks, Renee. Well, this is where you're going to want to watch the trial, I can tell you that. I just,
memberships or super chats.
let's see. We just need 5 more, that's it. 5 more. 25 or dollars or just 5 memberships. That would work. You know what's weird is I was feeling okay throughout the day, but I just got worse, like during, like the last 4 hours. I don't know. Well, it makes it humid, humidifier a little bit. I think I'm like at that point where I'm shedding it though. Like tomorrow should be better, I would think. I never had achy or anything. Fever hasn't been too bad. I guess I can see where we're at now. Hey, thanks for listening, Rob. Love you, Rob. 98.4. That's like 99 for other people. I'm usually 97.6 or 1 or 6 or something like that. Yeah, ibuprofen is good for anti-inflammatory. I think I'm trying to get Tylenol is good for fever, and I take Mucinex too. Yeah, Mucinex is the expectorant. That helps get it out of your lungs. Ugh. Yeah, we are almost there, but not really. Now we need 25 alley cake. Wait, maybe not. Hold on, let me look. 75. Yeah, just 4. You're right. Hey, maybe that did it. Maybe Tamran did it. Hey, thanks.
Commending heart emoji.
Yeah, I thought I just totally dodged the bullet, you know. My wife's sick, and I'm just sitting there going, oh, wow, look at this. I'm not sick. Hey, thanks, everybody, for getting that goal. So, hold on. So I think it stopped rendering there. Okay, that's good. Hey, there's M. Nicholson. All right. Thanks. All right, here we go. That was kind of dark. So she's getting up, and this one I don't have to, more like there, because she's already, I would have wasted time. I rendered so much for nothing. Oh wait, no, I'll keep that. That's pretty good there. Look at that. That's sweet. Perfect timing. Let me see if I go up. So what's the number on that? 44. Isn't that's creepy right there, isn't it? Ugh. I'll just probably try to take a long shower or something. Okay, maybe I'll add, I know what I'm gonna do. I got it. So it's the same shot. I'm gonna go all the way to there though. $265. $270. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So 2001. 21. 270. Ah, Jesus. Like pterodactyls. Do you guys know that I remember I took this class called Linguistics, and you had to learn all these little morphemes, little breakdown of the words. And in the word pterodactyl, the PTER, that stands for wing, just the PTER. And then I think dactyl means fingers. So it's like winged fingers. But it's also kind of interesting if you think the word helicopter. So you got helio, meaning circle, and then co, meaning with, and then PTER at the end is wings. So it's like circular with wings. That's a helicopter. Just to let you know, pretty interesting that the copter, the PTER in copter is actually its own thing, and the CO is by itself too. Means with, but the PTER at the end is actually wing. I bet none of you knew that. I did too, Gray. You see, I took this. Okay. Boy, that was really interesting, wasn't it? Not one comment back. Let's see. Yeah, I took it twice. It was so good. I thought it was just like, it's so amazing. There's this book called The Structure of English Words. And you just sort of like, you can actually learn to spell by using it. Yeah, I should have paid more attention. A lot of times my misspellings are just me typing so fast I'm not paying attention. My typos, I guess you could call them. But yeah, there's all these different things. Like here's one. Plec, P-L-E-C, if I remember right, is like fold. Means to fold. Folds. So like something that's complicated is with folds. You know, like a whole bunch of different. It's complicated. It's weird that that's what that came from. But and then there's like this thing called the vowel C deletion for the word, you know, like spec. The spectacles. You know the word spectacles? That the word spec means to view, I believe. Like spec is view. And the thing is, there's the word spy. You know, like somebody who's a spy out there is actually spec plus Y. But there's a vowel C deletion when followed by a Y. So then you know, oh wow, that's cool. Somebody who views, that's what that means. A spy. Like I bet, like it's crazy. Like you wouldn't think that the word spy had anything connected with spectacles at all. That's the same exact morpheme that they use. And like a spectator, you know. Somebody who's one who views. Right, spectating. Zozo just typed that in. You're probably on rewind, so it seemed like you typed it in before. But yeah, dactyl is fingers, and then PTER is wings. So it's winged fingers. That's exactly what a pterodactyl is, right? It's big, they're huge fingers with webs between them. It's weird that there was actually, like, there's these rules though, and it's amazing how often. Oh, geez, the what again? Ah, jeez. I said spectator, you said spectating. Same thing. Yeah, that's what. I think it's the Latin and Greek is what we're mainly made up of, and then we have borrowed words from elsewhere, like banana, you know, something like that. That's not, you know, it's from somewhere else. But most of our words are Greek and Latin. Oh, well, they were, Darren, so... What kind of a weird comment, Jesus. That's one of the things I always think is crazy. Just think about how wild that is. Like if the comet that hit the Earth in the Yucatan Peninsula, that pretty much wiped out all the main dinosaurs, they'd still be here right now. That's the weird part. Like, there'd probably be these really smart versions, but they'd be here right now. Just by pure fate, we got here. Although I don't know if maybe dinosaurs never would have. I mean, they were here for, 50 million years or whatever the hell, 60 million years, and they didn't develop into any smarter. So who knows? But jeez, Mike, you went all the way out there just to look something like that up. Jesus. Well, but they are the way they said they were. I mean, they have the bones, and I mean, we don't know. Yeah, right. I mean, like, I can. But here's the thing: we do have existing, like the lizards, the what the hell are those big ones? The Komodo dragons. That's what dinosaurs look like. And even like birds, like ostriches and emus from Australia, I guess. Those things are absolutely related to dinosaurs. The way they walk, their bone structure, the whole setup. And apparently the feathers that are on birds used to be what were scales, but over millions of years evolved into being feathers. There's one bird, I think it's called Archaeopteryx, which is sort of like half dinosaur, half bird. It's pretty crazy. That's what I just said. All birds came from dinosaurs. Yeah. They have the same, the way their legs bend backwards, the joint. That's exactly how dinosaurs are. And you got crocodiles. They're still out there. What is? Yeah, I think it's a fact, actually. Yeah, because there weren't birds, but then some dinosaurs evolved into birds. The boy I was in love with in high... Why'd you love him? It didn't matter that he walked like an emu. The thing is if people don't believe, yeah, all birds, yeah. At some point they're all the same. They're birds, right? With feathers, etc. But some of them are so far removed that you can't really tell, I asked the question on Google AI. Do all birds come from dinosaurs? Yes, all birds are dinosaurs. They are a branch of the theropod dinosaur group, meaning they evolved from theropod dinosaurs. This is supported by fossil evidence, skeletal similarities, and even the presence of feathers in some non-avian dinosaur fossils. Birds, oh, interesting. Birds are essentially the only surviving dinosaurs, although they have diversified into a wide variety of species. Pretty interesting, right? I'll tell you what I wouldn't want to deal with is a 7-foot tall crow. Okay, that would be like the Planet of the Apes. You know, if you could, the Planet of the Crows. If somehow there was these 7-foot tall, hell, even 5 feet, 4 feet crows, we'd be in trouble. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just look at these pictures here. I think it's right there, right? I mean, look how similar they are. See that? That's a bird. There's Archaeopteryx right there. Feather, closed, and symmetrical. But you can, like, you go down the list here, and they kind of look similar, like a velociraptor compared to some of these other. I can't really zoom in on it or anything, so. There's Archaeopteryx. That's the picture I always remember. A fossilized bird that had feathers and everything. See that right there? Grant Hughes investigates. I did notice that there's no more super chats after I started talking about dinosaurs. It is cool, isn't it? I took so many classes in college. I ended up with like 220 credits when you only need like 170. There's got to be another degree in there, but I took a lot of anthropology and archaeology, stuff like that. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Timothy. Just typing in the word dinosaurs. I wonder why they all shrunk down in size. Because there isn't the same amount of food. Or, you know, like back then, it was like... so there was always these people that argue stuff like that. Like, you know... For example, a chimpanzee separated from what are now humans like I think it was something like 8 million years ago. And then people say, well, how come they're still chimps then? Well, because when they separated, their survival wasn't being affected. They could still do whatever they were doing, and everything was easy. But others had to adapt, and over millions of years, that's what you get. Like if, for example, the giraffe is a perfect example. So it's probably, I don't know what the animal was before it was a giraffe, but let's just say it was a deer-like creature. And then there was one born that had a longer neck, way longer than it should have been. And it was able to feed and outcompete and never have a problem because all the other ones couldn't reach the level that it was eating. So it never had a problem eating. So that one was able to mate, and then some of its children offspring were also had the long neck too. Then they can outcompete all of those other ones, and then over
There is so much to learn. Adaptation is real too.
Yeah, like a million years. Yeah. Like a million years, you would switch to a longer neck, and then the spots are for
I enjoy the dinosaur.
Camouflage.
Emoji, chat.
Have you seen those crazy like walking sticks? They're little creatures, and they actually look like leaves. I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? So over millions of years, I'll give you a perfect example of just sort of a quick shot evolutionary thing. You know, is that in England there used to be these, and then the argument, I know what the argument always is, but in England there was these moths that were cream-colored moths, and they would land on these cream-colored trees. And then during the Industrial Revolution, when they were pumping out, you know, coal and soot in the air, it covered the trees with a brown soot. So the birds coming by, and now, so before that, though, you'd have these cream-colored moths on the cream trees, and every once in a while, the moths would get birth to a brown or black moth, and the birds could see those really easily and come down and pick them off. Then as soon as the soot got on the trees, the only ones that survived were the dark ones now. So after a very short amount of time, like, you know, years, not thousands of years, all the moths became black. And then you go, well, they were still moths, Gray. Yeah, see, but that's just a lame argument. The only thing that they were selected for at that point was the color. Okay? That means the black moths survived, and the cream-colored ones now are easily spotted by the birds because of the outline, and that's how it happens really fast. What are you guys talking about? It has nothing to do with anything. Let's see. Hey, thanks up there, by the way, to M10. I love it. There's so much to learn. Adaptation is real too. Yeah, adaptation. That's evolution right there. You know, here's a perfect place that shows you that this stuff exists is Australia. I mean, because every single mammal that is native to Australia is a marsupial. Okay? They have a little pouch, and that means that it had its own evolutionary sort of, I don't know what you call it, like a pattern at some point, you know? I mean, it's crazy. And so they have different animals there that look like our animals, but they're not even close to the same. Marsupials aren't even anywhere near anything that we have. You know, but you have the wombat that looks sort of like one of our swamp rats that we have out here. They had a thing called in Tasmania, the Tasmanian wolf, called I think it was called a thylacine. Last known living one was like 1939 in a cage. And it looked like a wolf. It had stripes on it, but a huge jaw, a massive jaw. And it was also a marsupial. Looked just like, but it's crazy. Had a pouch where the babies go in, and that's where they nurse, and eventually they come climbing out. A possum in the United States has that, but those aren't from here. They were introduced here. Yeah, so Tasmanian tiger, right? Yeah, right. But yeah, it looks like more like a wolf than a tiger. That's why I always call it that. My mind always, when you look at its head shape, it doesn't look like a tiger. But I got the actual real name correct. The thylacine. So, did you guys get that? Yeah, see, there he is. A thylacine. See that? Look at that crazy jaw on that sucker. Apparently, some people, you can still spot them sometimes. People say. But apparently these were the last two in a cage. But doesn't that look more like a wolf, the way that's head shaped right there? Look how crazy that is. That jaw on that sucker. Where is that? Look at that right there. See that? Huge. Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, let's pretend that let's say that there's like a combination of God and evolution, right? Well, how about the platypus? God was wasted. I mean, he was absolutely drunk out of his mind when he invented that one. I mean, there's no reason. Hey, I got something like this. Let's add a beaver and a duck together, and then we'll get a... Yeah, that's just crazy. What did this guy? Was he the one that shot one of them? Yeah, jeez. Oh yeah, there it is right there, look. That's the last...
Tasmanian tiger, easily distinguished by his straight, unjointed tail, is also a dangerous opponent, though, like the devil, is now very rare, being forced out of its natural habitat by the march of civilization. This is the only one in captivity in the world.
How shitty. Jeez. Poor guys. There we go. Right there. All right. What do you guys think of that? That little scene there. He's in there. She starts getting up. He hears something. Turns. Leaves the bathroom. Hey, it's okay. I'm going to help you. They can sure hold their breath a long time. No, that's what they eat. I mean, whales and dolphins are mammals too that breathe air. They don't breathe underwater. You know what's interesting with whales is some of them have a vestigial organ, like a hip bone, that just floats from their ancestors that used to walk. It's just a hip bone that's not used for a damn thing. It just sits there and does nothing. Not sure if I spelled it right. Yeah, whales possess vestigial hip and leg bones. I mean, how crazy is that? Remnants of their terrestrial ancestors who walked on land. See, look. See right in there? That little bone that's just floating there? Absolutely useless of any kind at all. It just sits there. But it was when they used to walk. So it's just still sitting there. It never got completely removed from... See right there? There's even a little leg right there. See? It's got a, like a, that's crazy. wild. Almost like a metatarsal or something. Yeah, hippopotamuses they're pretty much the alpha animal in Africa. There isn't, nobody will try to take them on. Tigers, lions, etc. Forget it. They just don't hunt them. There's some amazing videos on YouTube. You know, like water buffalo. You'll see lions gang up on a baby or something, and they'll be really, like one video I watched looked like they killed it, and then the water buffalo came over in a massive group and just absolutely destroyed the lions. I mean, just, you know, gored them with one of their horns and flicked the lion like 10 feet in the air. No problem at all. And man, I mean, it was amazing. The one video is like this little baby water buffalo is just it's already been pinned on the ground by 6 of these lions, and the water buffaloes come over and started flicking him away, and the little guy got up and got back in the group. Pretty amazing. All right, anyways, I think that's gonna do it. I gotta start doing something for my whatever I got here for the night. Plus, I've lost the interest in what I'm saying and the people watching. So anyways, Alley Cake, thank you. Timothy Moore, Amber Maiden, Ted Bundy, then Tumbleweed, Elizabeth Brown, Alley Cake, Timothy Cecil, Curly Lock Diva, gifted 5, and then Theo Roy, Elizabeth Brown, Melanie Summer, Curly Lock Diva gifted another one. Then Tamran 127, Alley Cake, Timothy Cecil, J Love, Timothy Cecil, Shris, Freedom Stitcher, Alley Cake, then Alley Cake gifted 5, then Lanky Tor gifted 1, then Sheryl's Freedom Stitcher gifted another one, then J Love, Renee, Timothy Cecil, Lizzie Robb, then Tamran 127, M Nichols, Tennessee, I guess. Then I gifted 5, then M10, and It's Just Bella. Then we had Paulette, Judy, and Ted Bundy on coffees, and then like the same person, Ted Bundy, on Venmo. Then there was a coffee PayPal from Pacific Cove Realty. Jeez. Well, hopefully I'll get done with this pretty soon. I think I'm on the last legs here. But look at it. It's literally right to here is 2 minutes and 58 seconds. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't it seem natural? Like if you if you're watching this right here, you know, it seems like a reasonable amount of time. Goes upstairs. Right there. There's Anna going into the kitchen with their DoorDash bag. Or Jack in the Box. And he's still upstairs this whole time. He's still... See that? When he goes this way. I don't know if there's going to be another. I haven't seen anything as interesting to me lately. I keep looking every day and I'm like, yeah, it's not really interesting. Let's see. Look, he's still up there, you know, still attacking. And then maybe like right around now is when Xana's still making her way up the stairs listening to stuff, and then she's like, is anybody... I think she said, is anybody here? Not, there's somebody here. I bet she said, is anybody here? Because she saw that door open. Now this person's coming after her. She's like, oh shit. And then runs across, being chased to the room, and then and then right at this point, that's the whimpering sound. This is when Dylan's and they're fighting in there. Then she gets knocked down on the ground, stabbed and knocked on the ground, and then Dylan's still like hearing weird sounds, and now he's stabbing Ethan, and then cutting his hamstring over here. Then sits down on the ottoman, and then there's Dylan just kind of listening again. She can hear it. Doesn't want to open that door though. Nah. And then he goes into the bathroom. Maybe he's cleaning up his hands so he can get back out. And then right during that time, maybe Xana starts getting up. And she's like, hey, what's going on? And he comes out saying, hey, it's okay, I'm going to help you. And then he kills her right there again. Because my thing is, I've always believed that she was injured first. Then he came back again because he wouldn't be telling somebody who's not injured, I'm going to help you. That's the thing. So there we go. And then eventually leaves out like that. So I just got this little part to fill in. I don't know. M10. Alright, anyways, thanks everybody. Appreciate you guys helping me get to the goal tonight. I gotta go rest up. Alright, thanks again. See you guys later, and as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking checked ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. Alright, everybody? Talk to you.